Hey, this is Christian, and today I am looking at Job 42. We are going to jump around a little bit, but I'm going to start at verse 10. When Job prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes. In fact, the Lord gave him twice as much as before. Then all his brothers, sisters, and former friends came and feasted with him in his home, and they consoled him and comforted him because of all the trials the Lord had brought against him. And each of them brought him a gift of money and a gold ring. So the Lord blessed Job in the second half of his life even more than in the beginning. Verse 16, Job lived 140 years after that, living to see 4 generations of his children and grandchildren. Then he died an old man who had lived a long, full life. Verses 16 and 17 are highlighted in my Bible because they are a constant reminder to me that no matter where your life is, there's a long, full life ahead of you in Jesus Christ. This is a man who has lost everything. He's lost his family, he's lost his home, he's lost his health, he's lost all the means of sources of income. He's the only people who are actually still in his world at this point are telling him he's here because it's his fault. That's his whole community right now is going, you did it. This is your fault. It's all on you. They even spend chapters and litanies on going, let me tell you why it's your fault. But even in this, even in a situation that looks so desolate and it looks like he's just trapped and there's no way out, God still gives him a long, full life. Now, it's easy for us to go, when you're faithful, God's going to do it for you. And when you read your Bible and you go to church and you do all the right things, then of course God's going to bless you. But Job actually starts this chapter going, I didn't really trust you fully, God. God actually talks to him in verse 1 of this chapter is Job responding to God going, I didn't get everything right. Looking at verse 3. You ask, who is this that questions my wisdom with such ignorance? It is I, and I was talking about things I knew nothing about, things far too wonderful for me. I think about this because a lot of times in my life, I get to points where I'm like, God, this doesn't make sense. I don't understand what's going on. What are you doing? Why would you let this happen? How did we get here? And you're talking about all this stuff and you're so frustrated. But God knew what he was doing from the beginning. All the situations that I find myself in where it doesn't make sense to me, God knows that it's going to make sense eventually because he knows where we're going and he's never going to let me go anywhere that he hasn't already planned for. Wherever we're going to go from the beginning, even the stuff that we put ourselves in, God's already made a way of escape. He already has a plan for it. He's already died for it. Jesus is already covered in blood, no matter where you are. So he knows where we're going. And so we're talking about these things. And I have to go, God, I was talking about things I didn't know anything about. And that's where Job is right here. He's going, God, I wasn't even fully trusting you. And you still blessed me. How good of a God is that? In verse 5, it says, I had only heard about you before, but now I have seen you with my own eyes. God brought him to a place where it wasn't just he knew God, but he saw God. He's been in a situation, and we've been in situations where you knew God could provide, but now you've seen God provide. You knew that God was a healer, but now you've seen God heal. He brings us to situations and difficulties and all these things where you go, oh my gosh, this does not make any sense. But in the end, we get to see God. And he allowed Job to see not only did he get kids again, not only was he able to marry again, but he got to see 4 generations of his family and live a long, full life. That's the same promise that God has for us. That no matter where you are right now, even if you're in a situation that you got yourself in, there is still a way of escape. And God will still give you a long, full life. That's a good Father. Love you.